Hi everyone, welcome back to this week's health tip. It's Dr. Marco again. So we're continuing on the top 10 list that Dr. Veronica DeSalmas, a breast cancer conqueror, came up with. And so these are the top 10 things that teenagers should be doing to decrease their cancer risk. So we went through the top 5 last week, so here's the next 5 to make the top 10. So one of the most important things, I've talked about this before, there's like 3 big substitutions that you really need to do in your diet to really make a big shift in decreasing risks. And one of the big ones, top of the list, is changing the meat that you eat if you are eating meat. Why is that so important? Because basically we want to be avoiding toxins and residues and those kind of things. And most of the meat that you buy would be what we call factory farm meats. So the cows are actually, and the other like lamb and whatever else, they're all being fed food that is not their natural food. So it actually causes them to have sickness and disease inside them. So they're usually being fed grains, which have almost always been genetically modified. Sometimes they're fed, like I've seen videos of just, the guys are throwing in like bubblegum wrappers and whatever else into the feed and stuff just to bulk it up and stuff, just to bulk them up too. It's a big mess. So it takes acres of land, all that sort of bioaccumulates. So the cow is eating tons and tons of food to get like a pound of the cow sort of thing. So the toxins have a tendency to accumulate in the fat, and so they're feeding them. They're trying to feed them all this stuff to make them fatter and get them bigger, and it's bioaccumulating all those toxins because all those GMO foods have been sprayed with glyphosate and other herbicides and pesticides. That's all continuing to bioaccumulate, and it just makes for a big toxic mess that you're eating. So the biggest change that everyone can make, including teenagers, is make the shift over to grass-fed, organic, hormone-free meat products. So, obviously they always cost more, but I tell people if you're getting more quality, you need to eat less of it sort of thing to get the good amounts of it. So like let's say maybe there's like a burger that's this big, that's grass-fed, maybe you cut it in half and just eat half and half, that kind of thing. Because we don't want to be overdoing the meats anyway in general, but just the concept is the more you can switch over, because when cows eat grass, grass, obviously there's pollution in the environment, but the grass isn't actually being sprayed with herbicides and pesticides because it's just growing there. So there's a lot less of concentration of pesticides and herbicides and other toxins and carcinogenic elements. And when the cow is actually eating grass, the cow is actually healthier. So they're not pumping it up with hormones and antibiotics and other things because the cow gets sick when it eats the food that it's not supposed to be eating. So that's the biggest shift. And most of the health experts say that we should try to avoid pork in general, just because they say, pigs don't sweat and they're sort of a higher, they're loaded with a little bit more with toxins, they have less ability to detoxify and things like that. They say try to avoid the scavengers kind of thing, and they're kind of putting pigs in that category. And a lot of parasites and other things can be more laden towards the pigs and stuff like that. So we want to be avoiding the pork in that category there. So the next thing is your body care products and your health care products. So for teenagers, you want to look good, you want to put the lipstick on and everything else, but you really, really, really have to make a big shift in that, because I want you to think about anything you put on your skin, you're putting in your body. Just you might as well consider that you're eating it when you're putting it on your skin, because it's still getting into your system. So you really want to go for like organic, all natural products if you're putting it on, like especially lipstick. Lipstick has been a source of lead for so many years for so many women that they had no idea they were getting lead poisoning from putting on so much lipstick. So there's strategies you can put on, like a natural thing before you put the lipstick on that kind of makes the sealant or protectant before the lipstick goes on it. But just in general, just try to make the shift, especially for household products. There's a lot of like people would use sprays for the rooms and things. You can get ones that have like essential oils and they're natural sprays and things like that, and just all that stuff. Just general, just make a shift and try to switch that, because these things, especially like if you're a student, you want to throw those dryer sheets in the dryer to make your clothes smell nice. Well, all that smell is all chemicals, right? So the dryer sheets are one of the worst laden things. Just take like a terry cloth or something, or like a white cloth, just spray it with some essential oils and throw that in there or something like that. Then you get like a fragrance, if you need to fragrance your clothing or something in the dryer. But that's a pretty big dose of stuff that you really want to just go to the healthy organic stuff as best you can. The next one, for guys and women, your cell phones is a source of electromagnetic frequency radiation, and that is radiation, and it actually does cause damage. So people who are saying that it doesn't, they're just trying to, it's just like the whole tobacco science back in the old days. So for women, I don't know if you've seen it, there was a news story of a girl that had her cell phone and she put it inside her bra and she ended up having a breast tumor there. It's not that uncommon for that stuff to happen. So ladies, don't be carrying your cell phone anywhere around your breast. For guys, in your pockets. If you are carrying it anywhere around your body, put it on airplane mode. Because if you're walking around, what happens is if you're going from different locations, it's actually always putting out a signal to try to get like the next cell tower signal, and that radiation is really, really powerful and it's really disruptive. So guys, don't be putting it around in your pockets because you know what you got down there, and women don't put it in your breast and in your bras and stuff like that. You know, if you have it, put it in your purse. If you are carrying it on you or on a side thing, put it on airplane mode until you're going to use it, and just use it. And when you're using it, don't stick it to your ear. Put it on speaker and hold it out here. You'll still be able to hear the person, and there's this inverse square law. So right there, horrible, and every little centimeter you're going away from your body, you're decreasing the load of radiation, so just put it on speaker, just hold it right there. Number 9 tip is increase your cancer-fighting foods on a daily basis. So, you know, you're going out, you're going having your junk and all that stuff, but make your effort if you're a teenager. Go get some good organic salads, go get some broccoli and Brussels sprouts and cauliflower and flax seeds and you know, the leafy greens, and just do the best you can to get that stuff in your system. Berries as well, all the sort of we call them low glycemic fruits, you know, berries, all the different types of berries, blackberries, goji berries, blueberries, boysenberries, all of those things. Get some berries in your system. Go get like a good big package of frozen berries if you can, organic ideally. And you know, make sure you're having salads and leafy greens and vegetables, and make sure you're munching on those things regularly, and try to get that in your diet as best you can every day. And then the last one is one of the bigger ones, is actually try to decrease your stress. If you're a teenager, it's stressful just being a teenager, we all know that, you know, peer pressure and all that kind of stuff, trying to fit in, school. So, you know, find out some really quick, easy strategies to decrease your stress. Some of the best ones are breathing techniques. You know, if you got some stuff happening, make sure you're breathing out for a longer phase than you're breathing in, because when you're stressed, you're going to have this kind of breathing sort of thing, and you want to get out of that. You want to really lock in your system, get your diaphragm moving, get your belly moving in and out on a slow pace. That just gets your system locked into more of a relaxation. Other things are exercise. That's one of the best things to decrease your stress, because when you have stress, your body's perceiving it as a threat, and it's putting you into the fight or flight situation. So your body's getting ready to beat somebody up or run. So you should do that. Don't beat somebody up, but just, you know, maybe use a punching bag, or, you know, do some quick movements with your hands. Go for a run very quickly, some burpees, jumping jacks, skipping rope. Just get out in nature. Just don't put on the headphones, don't listen to any music. Just quiet, look, and just walk through trees and forests, and, you know, get connected to the forest and the nature and that kind of thing. And then the last part of this, one of the biggest things that everyone would miss, is that when your spine is not moving properly, that actually creates stress signals to your brain. So when you have subluxations, chiropractors call it, in your spine, when you have lack of normal motion in your spinal bones, it actually sends stress signals to your brain and creates the stress response in your body. So when you get proper chiropractic adjustments to your spine, that restoration of normal movement through the spine will send healthy signals to your brain and decrease your stress response as well. So these are some very important tips. Please share this. If you have teenagers, young people, they need to know this information so that they can decrease their cancer risk as well. If this was helpful, please share it, and we'll see you in the next health tip.